You're listening to Base Breakfast with Chip Matthews, only on Base
We
FM.
have a guest in the studio. It's concerning a show that's kicking off tomorrow night entitled I Don't Do Coconut, which in itself is an intriguing thing. It gives me great pleasure to welcome into the studio Billy, who is playing Lungi tomorrow on the show. Good morning to you, brother. How are you?
Morning. Good, man.
Okay, firstly, the first question I have is Te Pack.
Yeah.
So that is the Auckland Performing Arts Centre. Where is that?
Yeah, that's just down by Western Springs College, like right in the same car park kind of thing.
Oh, so like I think that's Motions Road, right by where the zoo is. And all that kind
just
of
across from the zoo. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so this is where the show is taking place this week, and so it kicks off tomorrow night. I Don't Do Coconut.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like a Samoan Indian play, and it's sort of from an Indian perspective. I don't do coconut in terms of Pacific Islanders or whatnot.
So it's exploring kind of the relationships between a local Indian community or local Indian like people.
Yeah.
And some Samoan.
Yeah. So yeah, it's based around an Indian family and a Samoan family and the interactions they have.
So what part are you playing?
I'm playing the lead for the Samoan family. Yeah.
And so what's the vibe of the Samoan family? Give me a little rundown of your family. Are you locals?
Basically it's just me and my twin brother.
Yeah.
And we've moved here from Samoa. And
okay.
We're on our own with our uncle and sort of finding our own place in the world. And it's an interesting dynamic because I fit a lot more into society than my brother does. And
so it's an interesting to see how two people of the same, pretty much the same starting point, integrate themselves a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And so with that, does there therefore become a tension in that relationship that's played out as well?
Yeah. Well, there's definitely a lot of it's very complex sort of relationships and stuff like that. There's also sort of ideas because I'm quite a lot fairer than him as well.
Right.
Like perhaps that's a reason why I sort of like those sort of ideas, like just challenging perspectives and stuff like that.
And as an aside though, part of your character, am I right in saying, because there's DJs involved in this? So there's a music element involved in this as well. Yeah. So how does that come into it?
Well, my brother's actually like he finds his solace in music and DJing and stuff like that. And then so my friend from the Indian family, he's also a DJ, and so they have that clash, my best friend against my brother kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And is there something like a competition? No, is that right?
Yeah. So there's this big competition, DJ sort of competition that sort of happens near the end.
And you must be like in a really difficult position at that point because you've got your best mate and your brother both going for the same kind of role.
So that's pretty much the dynamic of that part of.
Right. And so what's the history of this performance? Is this the first time that this piece is going to be performed?
It's the second time that it's been performed actually, but it's a whole different cast, sort of been redone. The cast that's in it at the moment, most of us didn't see what happened in the last one, so we sort of just made it a bit more fresh.
Yep.
In terms of it's a different show than what it was.
And when you do another show, does the writer of the show rely on you guys in a sense as well to bring a new feeling and a new kind of dynamic to the piece?
It really just depends, bro, on who you're working with and the kind of director or writer they are. Eric's been quite generous in asking us to come up with a lot of our own characters to fit into what he's written in the script. But because he's quite a good writer and doesn't really know it, because he's got quite a lot of subtext in there that really defines who our characters are. Right. So yeah, I mean a lot of directors work really differently, but he's really open. Yeah. So
as part of the process, did you and the character that plays your brother, you had to sit down and kind of discuss your family lineage about where you came from, in a sense, like you came from Samoa, you're the new. How does it feel, kind of landing and being that vanguard part of your family?
I mean, we started to have those kind of conversations, and then the more we play with it, the sort of more those dynamics come out. It's sort of like, maybe we're not as close as we thought we were, or maybe this is where we really connect.
Oh wow!
There's different areas. Yeah.
And have you performed with these other actors before, or is this a new kind of venture for you as well? Or?
It's a new group to work with, definitely. I started I was one of the founding members of the Blackfriars, and we do a lot of Shakespeare out South Auckland and stuff like
cool.
that. And then I had another group out west called the Electric Cookazoids, and then so it's sort of like I'm trying to work with a lot of different people to get those sort of connections.
Absolutely.
networks and stuff like that. So
And so this show starts tomorrow night.
yeah,
And what I really like about tomorrow night, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what I believe it is, it's a free preview show.
yeah.
And so basically, which I think is a great idea.
Well,
to
yeah,
generate
it's sort of like
interest.
we got a bit of funding for it, and then the directors were like, why don't I open it up to the community to be able to come in and enjoy it for free, because there's a lot of time a lot of people miss out, recession and all that,
Oh, hard,
and
bro.
they feel like they don't want to pay the tickets, which fair enough. But we encourage those people who come along for free. Tell your friends and come again if you really like it. So
That's and it's what a great way to generate interest, but it's also a really lovely way to start the interactive process with
Yeah,
your audience
yeah.
straight away.
yeah,
It's like you're not only giving them the gift of what's happening on stage, but the koha of saying, come along and
yeah,
take a seat, and this is our gift to you.
yeah.
And so it runs from tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. It finishes on Saturday the 13th, and it's at Tapak,
Tapak,
which
yeah.
is Tapak. Okay,
Tapak.
that's had my brain just going all over this morning. The Auckland Performing Arts Centre, which is right next to, or part of, essentially Western Springs College, Motions Road, right opposite pretty much the zoo, near the bend really. And that's, again, kicking off tomorrow night. Hey, thanks for coming in, bro. I really
that's all
appreciate
good.
it.
Yeah.
What when you finish a show like this, do you know if there's anything? Does the director want to develop it and push it on further, or what? Does it have its own life?
Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's really up to, I suppose, Eric and then what they want to do with it afterwards. And I suppose there's often people who might come in and say, hey, I could adapt that for something else, or it's a real sort of, we like to have it as a creative space.
But it must give you a very personal connection to it, because you guys do have the freedom to be able to, develop your characters and mature your own kind of sense of self in the scene.
Yeah.
So it must be kind of a whole lot more soulful kind of experience, I suppose, when you get to make sure you put a little bit of yourself in there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the actors that we have in there at the moment are really awesome to work with. They all come from different sort of backgrounds. So we've got like one that's trained really hard out in Meisner, which is a sort of acting technique.
Right.
And they just had some American guy come in and do a masterclass with him and stuff like that. So he's like really sort of knowledgeable as well, and it's cool to draw off their knowledge and what they know, and sort of all come together and
Wow, that's
vibe.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Hey, thanks for coming in, man. I really appreciate
Yeah,
this.
that's
Again, the
for
show
having
is called I Don't Do Coconut, ladies and gentlemen. It starts tomorrow night, the 9th of April, at Tapak, and goes through to the Saturday, the 13th of April. Now, you can get more information from greyview.net. There's also a link. I'll put this tapak.org.nz. There's some information up there, and we'll link it up on the BaseFM page. And we've also got a double pass to give away, which I'm going to go into in a couple of minutes. So, fantastic. What a great show for you to be able to go and see, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming in, Billy. I really
Thanks,
appreciate it, brother. It is 24 minutes away from 10 o'clock. You're listening to BaseFM. 13 minutes away from 10 o'clock. We have a winner for the I Don't Do Coconut Double Pass happening this week at Tapak. It is sound like it's going to be a fantastic show to see. And once again, thanks to Billy for dropping in. He came all the way from South Auckland to come up and be a part of the show this morning. And lovely catch-up it was. Thank you and to those who entered. And we have a winner. Congratulations to you, Julia. Julia, number ending in 823. You have got that double pass. Now, I'm assuming that you get to choose the night with which you want to go to the show, Julia, from probably Wednesday through to Saturday. Of course, Tuesday being the free preview for those who want to get along and try and get one of those free seats. But Julia, yes, I believe from Wednesday to Saturday you can choose which night you want to go for that double pass. And I'm sure someone from the office will be in touch to let you know how that will work. But congratulations and enjoy the show.
You're listening to Base Breakfast with Chip Matthews, only on Base FM.